millions of dollars each year to secretly hand over user information. This includes photos, messages, and even deleted posts. Former NSA whistleblower Edward Snowden revealed the shocking extent of these exchanges in 2014. Facebook's covert involvement in the NSA PRISM program means it has no obligation to users to disclose what it is handing over. Documents revealed that a Facebook message about Al-Qaeda or even a joke about Osama bin Laden was enough to trigger the NSA surveillance software. Number 9. Social depressant. In 2012, Facebook conducted a secret experiment to manipulate the feelings of almost 700,000 users. For 1 week, users' news feeds were doctored to show posts that were either overwhelmingly positive or negative.
Wow.
Disturbingly, users were more likely to post more positive or negative words themselves based on what they had been shown. Results demonstrated what many have long thought, that Facebook can subconsciously influence user thoughts and feelings.
They like promoting fucking violence. Both of them. YouTube and Facebook. Y'all both like promoting violence. Y'all don't want to promote some motherfucking positivity. You funky bastards. I don't hate you, but I dislike the things that you do.
To track users' private activity even after they log out. Even more alarmingly, the process works 2 ways. Visiting websites with integrated Facebook features, such as the like or share buttons, gives those websites access to personal Facebook data. This little-known arrangement has been in place since 2010.
Wow.
Number 7. Manipulating reactions. In 2016, Facebook responded to demand for a dislike button with its Reactions facility. The service lets users respond to posts with 6 emoji options, including like, sad, love, wow, happy, and angry. However, not long after this happened, Belgian officials issued warnings against using the Reactions feature, claiming that it was a danger to user privacy. The officials warned that the service used the reaction feature to collect users' psychological data to sell on to advertisers, allowing Facebook algorithms to manipulate users into buying featured products when they are in good moods. Number 6. Shady MasterCard deal. In 2014, Facebook signed a 2-year deal with MasterCard that gives the credit card company access to Facebook users' information, mined using the Priceless Engine technology.
Wow.
This engine technology collects highly sensitive data from Asia-Pacific and Australian Facebook users. This in turn helps MasterCard and banks drive sales by monitoring the effect of their marketing strategies on Facebook users. MasterCard is using the same technology to sell Facebook users' information to banks, in order for the banks to target potential clients and borrowers more easily. Number 5. Facial recognition. Facebook's facial recognition tool uses advanced algorithms to identify users based on uploaded photographs. With over 200 million new photos uploaded to Facebook every day, its software is the most sophisticated of its kind in existence. However, this poses huge threats to individual privacy, with Facebook amassing the most comprehensive database of human faces in the world.
Wow.
Many technology experts, such as Dr. Joseph Attic, have raised concerns that Facebook's facial recognition will expose social media users to untraceable identity theft and stalking. Number 4. Facebook ad campaign. Unknown to most of us, any personal data users upload can be used as part of a Facebook ad. The site adverts feature information on brands and pages liked by friends to encourage those in their network to follow suit. Often they use profile picture thumbnails to entice a user's friends to brand pages and websites. These companies pay Facebook huge sums for the service.
That's that girl page.
Users aren't even informed of their involvement, let alone compensated. Number 3. Money-grabbing scams. A 2014 investigation by the Next Web revealed that between 67 and 137 million Facebook accounts are either fake or duplicates. A more dangerous discovery is how these are being used. Many of these accounts post bogus status updates which announce dubious ways to get rich quick. As friends open these links, their information is swiped and used by umbrella companies to steal user identities and financial information. The 2016 Cisco Security Report identified at least 33,681,000 Facebook scams, making it the most common online attack method. Number 2. Withdrawal symptoms. In 2016, Facebook admitted that it had secretly run psychological tests on 20% of its users. The company deliberately crashed its Android app to monitor how long it would take before users gave up refreshing it.
Wow.
The experiment tested the loyalty of its users, following fears that growing competition between Facebook and Google might lead to its removal from the Google Play Store. Results found that Facebook is so ingrained in people's lives that there was no point during the experiment in which users stopped trying to access the site. But more worrying is the fact that users remained unaware that they were being experimented upon. Number 1. Facebook for President. In May 2016, former Facebook staff alleged that they were encouraged to exclude conservative news from the site's trending section.
Wow.
Trending news topics are selected by algorithms that identify recently spiking keywords. However, the former Facebook workers alleged that human teams override the algorithm and blacklist news items themselves in order to promote their own ideological beliefs. Staff were told to find information from liberal news sources and to suppress Republican updates even if they were trending among users.
I'm here to bring you a very special message. It's about our Instagram account. If you haven't followed us yet, what are you waiting for? The link on screen here. If you do go and follow us, what you can find is brand new facts behind the scenes, and that's just having a lot of fun, really. So come over and follow us, and as always, guys.
We got a lot of shit going on, people that we don't know nothing about. I like sharing it, man. They don't like me sharing it, because I can tell. They definitely killed my shit. Yes. Call my witness. My tablet don't want to keep playing. Then leave some shit there. I don't know what. Start come on and then go off. Some bullshit. So I made my own beat so I wouldn't get no copyright, so I wouldn't have to mute my shit. And he still mute my shit. Y'all can't make me look bad, shit, because I'm telling the truth. So, telling the truth, I don't care what y'all do, I'm always look good. And like I said again, I don't want to be first in shit. I'm just happy that I was given this truth to give. Call them Mayweather. Because we're going to get in the back of this call. We're going to deal with them.
Merriweather Security Consulting. How can I help? An air team is on its way to you.
music. Boy, this some bullshit. First I'm getting copyrights. Now I got my own music. Now my own music going motherfucking free. Put my own music on. We gonna be a minute here. Bunch of bullshit, people. How we allowing these bitches? Consumers, all we gotta do is shut these bitches down by just not using none of this shit. That's not possible. Y'all ain't got the type of discipline. I can come out this bitch for about a couple of weeks or so. See, a rich person can be a miracle to a fucking poor person. That's the bullshit to go along with that God and that Jesus bullshit.
guys? Welcome to my channel. Today I brought you an MQQ, yes, word Cody, and any Android device, also smart TV as well. Before we go anywhere further, let's check that out to see if this MQQ, this word can install it on your devices or not. So what we have.
Anything you need, boss.
This is a breaking news alert. Got some late breaking news right now. Moments ago, the FBI just confirmed 100% Donald Trump was right. We have the evidence now that Obama spied on Donald Trump. This story, of all places, being reported, the Washington Compost. Ellen Nakashima over there is reporting that the FBI is now confirmed that it obtained a secret court order last summer to monitor the communications of an advisor to presidential candidate Donald Trump. They say here it was part of an investigation into possible links between Trump and Russia, according to law enforcement and other U.S. officials. They state here
We're
the
good
FBI
to go.
and the
Collect
Justice
the product
Department
and bring it back for
obtained
storage.
the warrant targeting Carter Page's communications after convincing a foreign intelligence surveillance court, the FISA court, the judge there, that there was probable cause to believe Page was acting as an agent of a foreign power. That foreign power in question, they said, was Russia. They continue here that this is the clearest evidence so far that the FBI was spying on Donald Trump. They say here that, according to the Compost, with their bias, they say this is the evidence the FBI had reason to believe during the campaign that Trump campaign advisor was in touch with Russian agents. They say here such contacts are now at the center of an investigation into whether the campaign coordinated with the Russian government to swing the election into Trump's favor. They say here Page, however, not accused of any crimes. Nope, no crimes at all. But they just decided there's enough probable cause, we'll just go ahead and wiretap him. Member of the Trump campaign, the opposition party, the party that would win and beat Hillary Clinton. My friends, this is enormous news. This is the vindication. We knew there was going to be a paper trail. It has now been uncovered. The FISA court documents, the FBI did spy on Carter Page. They say here Page had not been accused of any crimes. It's unclear whether the Justice Department might later seek charges against him or others in connection with Russia's meddling. Of course, that's how the Washington Post wants to frame this. It's unclear if they will be seeking charges. Well, This is 100% proof that Trump was spied on, that his message, his tweet, the tweet that was heard around the world, now proven 100% right. They say that a counterintelligence investigation into Russian efforts to influence the U.S. election began in July. Officials have said that most investigations don't result in criminal charges. The officials spoke about the court order on a condition of anonymity because they were not authorized to discuss the details of the probe. So 100% confirmed, my friends, Trump, his team, spied on by Obama's FBI. It is irrefutable evidence now. FISA court documents prove it. So, it's your move, Democrats, your move, Obama, your move, Susan Rice. Hopefully that move will be into a small prison cell. Google going nuclear now with a new default setting in their ad policy that could crush YouTubers once and for all. This story from Jess Pidocco for MediaFile reports that after facing months of backlash for unintentionally funding extremists through advertising, Google announced a public apology along with steps the company is taking to help advertisers avoid objectionable content and provide more advertiser control where their ads appear. Quote, we know advertisers don't want their ads next to content that doesn't align with their values. The word
of Black America. Black history, lost, stolen, or strayed.
No, I could never fit in there. Never get in there at all. This is more like it. Now, what's the whitest thing you know? Whiter than the driven snow and than the whites of your eyes? Sugar. Non-integrated, non-black, sweet sugar. But you see, there is a black man in your sugar. His name is Norbert Rillier. Norbert Rillier in 1846 invented a vacuum pan, revolutionized the sugar refining industry. Now, you have to dig to find that fact. I mean, it's not much history, but it's still history. Now, what do you stand in? In your shoes. Now, there's just you and your shoes, isn't it? No. See, there's a black man standing in your Oxfords with you. sharing your soul and your heel, is a man's name is Jan Ernst Metzeler. And in 1863, this is drawn by the kids, Metzeler invented the machine that made mass-produced shoes possible. Now,
Ain't nobody saying nothing about that.
And again, it's not much history, but it's history. Am I coming in clear to California? I mean, is this TV signal driving through a pass in the Sierra Nevada Mountains and slipping into San Francisco? Okay. I want to thank you, Jim Beckworth. Jim Beckworth, out of St. Louis, hunter, trapper, and honorary chief of the Crow tribe of Indians. We had trouble finding you, Jim. Though you helped open the West, you didn't make the books. Chicago, right here, where the Wrigley building is. A young fellow by the name of Jean-Baptiste de Sade. Jean-Baptiste, he founded you, Chicago, when he traded with the Indians. And of course, there it is right at that particular time. It was called Chicago, or Stinking Onion, by the Indians. And de Sade, he didn't even change the name at all. Now you take the Lewis and Clark expedition here, right in there. You'll find a black man named York, helping to open the West. Those
Just ping the collection location 30.
That's what you might call historically significant, because a lot of people think we ought to wash white, but we ain't gonna, you see. Texas, coming to you, Texas, right down the Chisholm Trail, right down there with 5,000 black cowboys who never made it to the Hollywood Western. Did you know that? Huh? In this same group, there was one black outlaw. His name was Deadwood Dick, who claimed his soul brothers were Bat Masterson, Billy the Kid, and Jesse James. Deadwood Dick used to ride into the saloon, order 2 drinks, one for himself and one for his horse. And his horse, drinking a shot of red eye with straw. And how about the 186,000 blacks who fought on the Union side during the Civil War? 48,000 died. How about Teddy Roosevelt's charge up San Juan Hill? It wasn't just the Rough Riders who made it. 4 black regiments rode right up with Teddy. They didn't get lost going up the hill. They got lost in the history books. How about the North Pole? Snow White? Well, the first man there was black, Matthew Vincent. He spoke Eskimo. And he was Admiral Perry's navigator, and although he made it first to the pole, it never quite made it to the history books. And how about your heart? Can we get there? All right. Daniel Hale Williams first performed open heart surgery successfully. But this list could go on forever. Blacks who made it, blacks who made history, but who didn't get into the history text at all. And the strange thing is how little there is about us in the textbooks. Napoleon once said history is a fable agreed upon. And the fable agreed upon up to now is that American history is right on way. But sometimes we did get into the history books. All wrong. Now you take this one. The Growth of the American Republic, 1842 edition. Samuel Eliot Morrison, Henry Steele Cummingen. Quote as follows. This has to do with slavery. As for Sambo, Professor Morrison. Sambo, Professor Cummingen. As for Sambo, whose wrongs moved the abolitionists to wrath and tears, there is some reason to believe that he suffered less than any other class in the South from its peculiar institution. Peculiar institution means slavery. Although brought to America by force, the incurably optimistic Negro soon became attached to the country and devoted to his white folks. Unquote. Those lines were written by 2 Pulitzer Prize-winning white Northern professors. Slavery. That's the place everybody likes to start Negro history. You know, ignorant black men being brought over from Africa in chains. Terrible things. But this way slavery is taught, it sort of takes the sting out of it. Because the way it's usually taught, people think that we Afro-Americans started with nothing but little grass skirts as the kids of the Tarzan movies. And though America gave us slavery, America kind of us religion and a lick or two of education. And when we get more jobs and more education, up from slavery. But we had something before we left Africa, something more than rhythm. We had a high culture. The culture was so high that great artists in the world are still following from it. Now here's a sculpture by an unknown African artist. And here's what Paul Klee took from it. And here's a work by an unknown black African. And Pablo Picasso liked what he saw. Another African design, and Modigliani swiped it. Or he was influenced by it, or whatever polite word you want to use. Another black African artist, and Picasso didn't change it very much. I mean, when you look at this copy, you gotta give us a little more than rhythm. You gotta give us style. Now, if you tell the history of slavery right, you got a big problem with things. The slave trader didn't take some savage out of Africa. He took a human being, sold him like an animal, and separated him from his family. America invented the cruelest slavery in the history of the world because it broke up black families. After slavery was over, America kept breaking up the black man's family.
I'm on the clock. What you want? Some wheels?
If you want to look history right straight in the eye, you're going to get a black eye. Because it isn't important whether a few black heroes got lost or stolen or strayed in America's history textbooks. What's important is why they got left out. Now, this country has got a psychological history. It was a master race, it was a slave race. And though there isn't any political slavery anymore, those same old attitudes have hung around.
I'll get there as soon as I can. Okay, I got stuff to do.
It's right here in this classroom. We want to thank Mrs. Lovely Billups and the whole gang here at 4th grade for the brilliant and intelligent artwork that they've done here to make this whole broadcast sing. I want you guys to keep pretending that I'm not here. You're doing a great job, and just keep on drawing and reading and writing and doing what you have to do, because I'm going to talk about some of the kids. Not you, Mary, John, and Bob. These are kids from other schools. And did you know in some states it used to be against the law to teach blacks to read or write? Nowadays we're getting these integrated schoolrooms, and most people think that if we get enough teaching and enough jobs, everything is going to take care of itself. But there is a scar of history running through kids as young as these. It tears you up if you know how to look at drawings kids make, because kids shouldn't know much about history and anything about discrimination. I mean, nobody hates little black kids, but why do some of them cause so much trouble? And if you ask black and white children to draw themselves, or trees, or houses, some strange things happen. We asked some ordinary white kids from ordinary families to make some drawings for us. Like, well, let's call him John. John's white, and we asked him to draw himself. This is John. This is his house, and this is his tree. Then we asked a black kid, let's call him Ralph, to do the same thing. This is Ralph's drawing of himself. This is his tree. Now, why should two kids of the same age draw so differently? Enter the expert. This is Dr. Emmanuel Hammer, psychiatrist specializing in children's therapy.
Let me illustrate it for you. Let's take these drawings. No matter what a child draws, he's really picturing himself. Ask a secure child to draw a tree, and he's likely to draw a bountiful, spreading tree. A black child drew this tree, cut off in its growth, stark, bare, ungratified. It works the same way with drawings of people. Normal children, average drawings. The mood is happy, the child feels capable, the drawings are complete, and the arms are developed to emphasize strength. These children were old enough to draw complete figures. The significant fact is what they left out. Arms, hands. A child may sense that a situation in life is so powerless that he himself is equivalent to an armless man. My own study reveals that armless people appear 3 times more frequently in the drawings by black children than those by white. The faceless beings suggest that these youngsters not only feel themselves to be less than complete, they don't even feel themselves to be. The black child who is forced to live in a hostile world may disappear in self-defense. He drifts through life feeling like a shadow. He stops caring, and he stops trying. A child who has this on his mind cannot be a child. A child who has this on his mind could want to burn down cities when he gets older.
Whole confusion was summed up by a black 9-year-old in these 2 paintings. This is a 9-year-old boy who draws a white man, Robin Hood. And this is how the same boy draws himself. And this is the consequence of deformed history.
Linda, close the curtains. Brian, close the screen. Bonnie, light please.
In the past 50 years, 33,000 feature films have been made in the United States. About 6,000 of them have had parts for black actors. For the most part, the black portraits have been drawn by white writers, white producers, and white directors for a white audience. Most black parts were the way white Americans wanted them to be. Black male was consistently shown as nobody, nothing. He had no qualities that could be admired by any man, or more particularly, any woman. White people didn't like to think much about them, sort of like a relative you get in a rest home. Happy darkies, dancing and singing was all they wanted to hear about. Being good Christians, the whites out front liked to think the blacks out back were kind of happy. Uncle Tom's Cabin was one of the first movies made that tried to say anything about black people. Uncle Tom was changed a little each time it was put on stage, and all the parts were played by white actors. And by the time they made a movie of it in 1903, Uncle Tom was just the white man's idea of a good nigger. You might say he was what H. Rep. They made this picture 5 times. By the time they finished with it, Mickey Rooney could have played Uncle Tom. Minstrel shows started as a black man's entertainment for himself and the plantation owners. When they were filmed, though, they were done by a white cast. You figure that out. They were done as sort of a joke, and the black entertainer couldn't even get a job making fun of himself.
Wow.
The first really vicious anti-Negro film was called The Birth of a Nation, and it was a honey. And the second worst thing about it was that technically, in 1918, it's the best movie that had ever been made. A cat named D.W. Griffith produced it, and he knew how. See? Birth of a Nation pretended to tell the story of the Civil War and what happened afterwards when the slaves were freed. A white woman couldn't walk her own sidewalk, if you believe the picture. In the South, Negroes got the right to vote, and the movie showed black vote collectors refusing to accept white votes, and black people sneaking in extra votes. And if these black bad guys don't look very bad to you, it's probably because they were white actors wearing burnt cork. Negro legislators took over in the South, and in the film they were made to look like apes. And this was the movie version of how it looked in the Southern state legislature. They drank whiskey, they ate chicken with their hands in the State House, and they put their feet up on the table with their shoes on. And of course they passed all sorts of crazy laws according to the film, like anybody could marry anybody they wanted to.
Oh.
It was obvious to anyone who saw this picture that Negroes weren't fit to govern themselves or anyone else because they really weren't people.
Wow.
This film is 50 years old, and it may look silly and out of date now, but it didn't look silly when it was made seem. Several million Americans who saw it were propagandized to believe that this is the way things would be if they weren't careful. So they've been pretty careful. Colonel Cameron, a former officer in the Confederate Army, is all upset over the way Northerners and the freed slaves are changing his South, taking the mint julep right out of his mouth. So he takes a walk one day while he's worrying about it, and he sees two white kids playing, and then four black kids come along. Being hardly human and naturally afraid of ghosts, the black kids run. General Cameron sees the whole scene, gets his great idea, and with this, that great white all-American organization, the KKK, was born. Cavalry and the bedsheeters come to the rescue. The South is saved. In this picture, the Ku Klux Klan was the good boy who saved the South. Most Hollywood films, though, even the early ones, weren't really nasty. Nobody was sitting around saying, hey, let's take care of the niggers. What producers were doing was making money. And to make money, they made pictures that white ticket buyers would enjoy. They showed Negroes the way most Americans like to think of them. To blame Hollywood is like throwing a rock at the mirror because you don't like what you see. Burt Williams was one of the great vaudeville performers. He couldn't get parts in white pictures, so he made a lot of short comedies. He played the part most Americans consider typical Negro. He wasn't bad, really, just lazy, stupid, and happy the way he was. And his feet hurt. He was afraid of most everything. And when he was scared, he shook and his teeth chattered. Unlike a scared white man, the black man's eyes could pop out of his head. And when he was scared, he was so scared he couldn't talk. And he was also so scared he couldn't run. Black women, on the other hand, were steady and imperturbable. They stood like a rock on the face of things that scared black men. Another strange physical characteristic was when they were really very scared, the guys turned white. When you look back on these old films, the patterns come jumping out at you.
Yep.
The most consistent thing about them was the attack on the black man.
Yep.
He was never even given the privilege of being a man. He was a boy. As in, you know, here boy. They had a lot of other great qualities besides being cowardly. For instance, they stole chickens.
Who's in there? Who's in there? Ain't nobody in there but us chickens.
They shot craps.
Nice, your papa talking to you, man. That's come. Just hit it one more time.
And lions weren't the only thing they were afraid of either. They were afraid of gorillas.
Wonderful. Is that you next to me? Wonderful. Is that you next? Now come on, Wonderful. Now don't start out. Come on, tell me the truth. Is that you? Wonderful. Please say yes, that's you.
They were also afraid of ghosts and skeletons.
Yeah. Is that you scratching my head? Yeah. Yeah. Now come on. Now what are you looking at?
What's your hurry, boys? Even when they were little boys, they had these characteristics. Farina in our gang was the boy. The tradition of the lazy, stupid, crap-shooting, chicken-stealing idiot was popularized by an actor named Lincoln Theodore Monroe Andrew Perry. Cat made $2 million in 5 years in the middle 30s, and everyone who ever saw a movie laughed at Steppin' Fetching.
Come on, wherever you is, wherever you be, wherever you do. Come on, wherever you am, I'm the girl.
somebody stiff like that. I'm looking for hillbillies as you are.
I ain't saying I am, I ain't saying I ain't.
Well, that's close enough for me, because I'm tired of walking myself. The government told me I got to bring in a hillbilly, so you come go with me to Washington.
I ain't a going.
That's the color of another horse. But I tell you, you don't go for me. We go for the Navy.
No.
You don't go for the Navy. Well, I tell you, go for the Army.
No, I won't go for the Army.
It's too bad he was as good at it as he was. The character he played was planted in a lot of people's head, and they remember it the rest of their lives as clear as an auto accident.
What's that? Are you an Indian?
Yes, I'm Indian. Man, you don't know. I'm Indian. I got 1/4 Cherokee, 2/4 Seminole, and I got 4/5 Hiawatha.
We're good to go.
Wait a minute. Hiawatha was a woman.
I can't help it. I got 4/5 of them.
He played in movies with other actors who were as American as Mom's raspberry jello. If they accepted the stereotype, how wrong could it be?
Judge Ricky, I see you some, please.
Well, I'm pretty busy.
Yes, but I just want to ask if you cared about it.
Care about what?
About over at my house, night before last.
Baby?
Yeah, you sure guessed that you heard.
What's his name?
Oh, we call him L.R. Live Rigby Livingston.
Named him after me, did you?
Yeah, Live Rigby. I told my wife yesterday, I said, honey, I know the judge sure gonna be gratified.
Well, Cortez, I appreciate you.
Yes,
I suppose a compliment and I ought to do something for you.
yes, that's what I thought.
You come over to my place tomorrow and I'll give you a job.
Yeah.
Rake a leaf.
I asked you to wait.
All-American little Shirley Temple played a lot of parts that involved her with black actors. She was always real nice to them.
Timmy, you always do it wrong.
This is an imitation Stephen Fetchit named Willie Best with Shirley.
Come on, Miss Birdie. I just won't budge. I'll show them I'm
The cute little white girl was brave and strong in the face of danger. And the big black man was stupid and cowardly.
What are you afraid of them for?
Oh, John, them Yankees is mighty powerful. They can even change the weather.
Yes?
Whenever they come around, I never know whether it's winter or summer. I'm shivering and sweating at the same time.
And Timmy, serve these cookies to Master Harold. Wipe his chin.
Yes, ma'am, Miss Bird.
She was good to them, and they were good to her. Sort of a master and pet relationship.
How would you like to see Uncle Billy dance?
All right, Chief. Let's get going, son.
This is Bill Bojangles Robinson, one of the great ones. But if he wanted to work and dance, he had to come into a picture through the servants' entrance. Shirley was good to children, too. They loved their little mistress, and she treated them real good.
Look, Sally Ann.
Just like they were equals.
Miss Virgie, please, ma'am. We all done come here to wish him any happy return. That's it. Many happy returns of the day. And we thought to make you $1. Here it is. Miss Virgie, there was more I had to say. Sammy, I just got it.
You said everything, Sally Ann. Don't you worry. This is the very nicest present I got. Thank you ever so much.
Yes, indeed, sir. It was very thoughtful and sweet. Come out.
suppose it might have surprised a lot of Hollywood writers and producers to know a scene like that could actually make a lot of people, mostly black, sick to their stomach. This is a lot of fun, isn't it? The newsreels that were shown along with feature films knew a good thing when they saw one. They helped keep all the black cats into place. Nobody black ever did anything very newsy in a newsreel. They did things like eat watermelon in watermelon eating contests. Then another favorite for the newsreel cameraman was to film people throwing things at them. Good sport. Some college football publicity man decided this was a good idea. And there were a lot of very funny golf pictures. If you weren't black, they were funny, I guess.
It's right out of your mouth. Don't milk, boy, don't milk. Well, you keep still, see? Otherwise, you'll have flour in your room and you won't smell them. Oh, boy. Oh, wait, wait.
Everything suggested the black man was nothing. Hollywood adopted a sort of British attitude toward black natives of other countries. They were always sneaking around the bushes, you know, carrying stuff on their head. White men weren't supposed to get caught sweating. Anne Harding played a scene in a picture called Prestige and stated the colonial attitude.
Don't let it break, Andre. Take to him your race for a wedding gift. The prestige of the white man. That means everything you stand for. And it is the only weapon you two will have. Prestige. But it is enough to preserve you.
Yes, sir. And I'll try to remember. Did you kiss me?
Even though most non-white natives of any place were savages in films, it often pleased white producers to endow a few chosen blacks with the virtue of great loyalty to him, the white man. Here's one defending Anne Harding to the death. There was always one loyal and true black man who would do anything for his master. Some of them were wonderful people. You know, if you really get a good one. Mostly, though, Negroes were not heroes. They were a bit part servants, railroad workers.
Well, this is your destination, folks.
They made very good chauffeurs. Looked good in their caps. And they were great at serving all kinds of drinks.
That coffee stays with you like poorly.
Who says you got the...
Just phosphorus tea.
Wherever there was a thirsty master, there were they also. Right, ain't your mama?
I don't know if I can stretch one small chicken, but as long as the water's running, we'll have soup enough. Bobby, will you take Kay upstairs and wash all that goo off her face and give her...
The one question they never answered, when the Negro woman was taking care of the white woman's kids, who was taking care of hers? They did all kinds of odd jobs around the picture, like walking horses. When they weren't walking the horses, they were out back playing craps, of course. Recreation. They met people at the station for the masters.
You folks,
We've come all the way from Ireland. Mr. Milford's expecting us. Mr. Milford.
Yes'm, you is what I'm looking for. I'm Mr. Milford's boy.
His boy, you say?
Yes'm, Murphy's the name, sir.
Did you say Murphy?
Yes, Miss Murphy. They calls me Walking Murphy.
Walking Murphy?
Yes, most of us Murphys down here just sit. I walk.
They make wonderful servants, all kinds in the pictures. Dumb but loyal.
Isn't it a beautiful night? I just love parties, don't you?
I beg your pardon?
Thank you kindly. Yes? Hello? Oh, this is Verdun resident.
were getting pretty tough during the 30s. A good thing for a lot of black actors was that they made a movie called The Green Pastures with, like they say, a cast of thousands. It gave a lot of people work, but it had all the old stereotyped characters. It was clever and funny and all black. But it was a white man's picture.
I'm the Indian! Henry, you sure got the prettiest wings.
Oh, they just my old ones.
Sing out, gentlemen, sing out. Sing out, gentlemen, sing out. Oh, Lord, the smokehouse is empty. Oh, Lord, let me get them groceries. Oh, Lord, let me see that new six. Where? Come on, you gonna feed me or not? Hey!
Were you just a little boy, gambling and sinning and doing tobacco like you was your own pappy? And you've been drinking Sonny Kick Mammy wine, too. You gamblers ought to be ashamed of yourself leaving this boy to sin.
Well, he's the best crapshoot in town.
Find my mammy, do what I can.
While Hollywood was turning out films, radio came along and decided to get in on it, too. Two white fellows from Chicago invented two black characters they named Amos and Andy. They played their parts on the radio for 30 years. This is them doing their bit. When radio moved over to let television in, Amos and Andy went with it. These two white cats couldn't play Amos and Andy where you could see them, so what they did was they had a black cast. The cast was different, but the stereotypes were the ones the white people had come to know and love. They were shady characters with money.
Well, I got the books right here, and they're open to each and every brother. Complete inspection. You don't hang off on that thing there. So you want to see the financial books, huh? Yeah. Well, there he is. There he is. You done see them. The people that you
They were still slow and lazy.
Are you sure they're not here?
Oh, yes, sir. They told me so themselves.
Have them report to our office right away.
I sure tell them all right.
They had trouble with the English language. Misused words a lot.
Mr. Brown, my new secretary here, he ain't gonna have no time for no extracurricular activities.
And I'm telling you now, as long as you have that secretary in your office, I'm going to work as a secretary myself.
Oh, give me an ultimatum, huh? Put my foot down.
They had trouble with women. And with always the women who were dominant. Mostly black actors aren't playing the old stereotypes anymore. There are people who say they're playing a new stereotype. Sidney Poitier is always helping some little old ladies across the street, whether they want to go or not. The black people in this country got a bum deal for a long while, and it won't hurt much if we see a little of that now and then. Stanley Kramer has let us use some scenes from Guess Who's Coming to Dinner. You look at these and remember Birth of a Nation. This is the opening scene when Katherine Hutton is bringing Sidney home for the first time.
This is Dr. Prentice. John, Miss Matilda Binks.
Nice to meet you, Miss Banks. I've certainly heard a great deal about you.
Katherine Hepburn and Spencer Tracy are the girl's parents.
He's right. She's 23 years old, and the way she is just exactly the way we brought her up to be. We answered her questions. She listened to our answers. We told her it was wrong to believe that the white people were somehow essentially superior to the black people, or the brown or the red or the yellow ones, for that matter. People who thought that way were wrong to think that way. Sometimes hateful, usually stupid, but always, always wrong. That's what we said. And when we said it, we did not add, but don't ever fall in love with a colored man.
Sidney tells it like it is to his old man.
You and your whole lousy generation believes the way it was for you is the way it's got to be. And not until your whole generation has lain down and died will the dead weight of you be off our backs. You understand? You've got to get off my back. Dad. You're my father. I'm your son. I love you. I always have, and I always will. But you think of yourself as a colored man. I think of myself
As a man.
as a man.
That's what I'm talking about. Everybody put titles on everything to not know the real truth to what the title really means. The title means you're being classified. It means that you're being put into a category that basically don't define you. And then until you find the truth within you to know the creator of all that's created. And then and only then you're going to be the original creator of something real divine.
Is that he's nobody unless he joins the white world. The white world only comes into the black ghetto by messenger. The message used to read, black is nothing, white is beautiful. For this reason, a lot of black people have spent their lives trying to be white. For instance, hair. Some people still call straight hair good hair because it looks like white hair. Kinky hair is bad hair. The man on the right is having his hair cut naturally. The man on the left is having a process. What the barber is doing is applying harsh chemicals to his head so he'll have straight hair, like all those movie stars have. It's a painful, long job that costs about $6 and has to be looked after every couple of weeks. These days, many young black men find the whole process demeaning. It's going out of fashion, even in the ghetto. It takes pain to become like a white man, and more pain when you know you can't make it. For a while, it seemed to the black community that the way to escape was to get as rich as possible and look as white as possible. And as affluence came to some black people, all the lessons of history and all the lessons of the movies seemed to be succeed on the white man's terms. So, the middle-class Negro took the white man's dreams and tried to make them his. Today, many middle-class Negroes have the education and the money to provide themselves with all the white man's dreams but one: universal social acceptability. He has not yet been able to join in any normal or casual way the white man's affluent society, so he has his own. The white man's attitudes still exclude the black man and the black woman.
There's a fallacy in this country that says that any man by his merits can make it. That is not true. Do not believe that. It is not true. Because any man in this society cannot make it. That's where the whole fallacy is. The white man keeps saying to you, if you just stop being black, if you just stop shooting your people on Saturday night, just stop talking Negro down, you clean yourself up, get yourself a job, you're going to make it in this society. It's not true. I know for myself, I have a master's degree in social work, and I know that people won't accept me. And I was an honor student, and I know I can make it. They won't accept me. They don't discriminate against me because I'm Christian. They're discriminating against me because I'm black.
Mm-hmm.
The message down here is coming in stronger. It's be yourself, be black. The new generation of black young Americans is asserting itself in a new and possibly disturbing way. Many black Americans are giving up on American society. If you can't wash white, even if you have the money, if you can't wash white because you're basically black, what you do is react, sometimes radically. Here is a measure of the reaction to white is beautiful. This is a storefront school in Philadelphia. The children are being given a black preparation before they enter the city's schools. They're not especially gifted children, they're just from the neighborhood.
I'm going to put it on Facebook so y'all can check out what I'm watching, because if I put it on here, they're going to copyright my shit. Y'all can hear it. If they copyright from y'all hearing it, hey, I don't care.
That is wrong. A number is a concept of quantity or an amount. That is dead wrong.
He's not only teaching new math to children whose ages range from 17 months to 5 years, he's decided to give them the emotional armor they need to protect themselves against the education they're sure to receive when they start kindergarten.
Somebody tells you something wrong. Are you going to do it?
No!
What do you want?
I want freedom.
When do you want it?
I want my freedom now.
No, you have to wait till next week, sir. You can't have it now. Can you wait till next week? Okay. Sit down. All right, young man, stand up. When do you want your freedom, young man?
I want freedom now.
You can wait till next week, though, can't you?
No.
Michael, you just have to wait till next week. You can't have it now.
Why?
Are you willing to wait till next week?
Why?
No.
Nope.
Suppose I said that you have to wait till next week. Now, you're going to wait till next week, aren't you?
No.
How are you going to get your freedom?
I will use any means necessary to get my freedom.
Any means necessary?
Any means.
You know, all right, sit down. Young man, what is your name?
My name is Aaron Kingston.
Levante.
So what happened to these strong kids? These kids are not being bred to be strong kids no more. They bred to be sheeple. They bred it to be stupid. They bred to only know what they're taught in school to know, but not know nothing about the Creator in them to know. Because to know the Creator in them is not this God and Jesus bullshit, will give those kids a new look on what's really real in this shit. And that's all that they are, is the Creator to be.
Are you sure you're 4?
You're pressuring them.
You're going to let me turn you around and tell you you're some other age? You're 6 years old, Eric.
No.
I can't hear you, Eric.
No.
Are you being heightened by me?
Yeah, no.
I'm a teacher. I said you're 6.
I'm 4 years old.
That's what I'm talking about.
We stand up and say it. You ought to scream it in my face like I say you did, right?
Yes.
Have a seat.
What happened with this type of teaching?
Are you a Negro, Travis?
See?
No.
Are you a funky, Travis?
No.
What are you?
I am black and blue.
And what else are you? Are you a boy?
No.
What are you?
Man.
What kind of man?
That's a beautiful man.
Well, what kind? Are you an old man or a young man?
Young man.
Very good. Very good. Are you going to let somebody just make you a boy?
No.
All right. Suppose I tell you something wrong, Travis. Are you going to do it?
Yes.
You're going to do something if I tell you it's wrong?
No.
Have a seat, young man.
You don't have no black men teachers like that.
Here you are, fine young man, right?
Yeah.
Are you going to be scared of me?
No.
Are you going to be scared of some president of the United States?
No.
Some mayor?
No.
Some policeman?
No.
You're a Negro.
Fear.
You're a
Fear.
Negro, Eric.
Fear. False evidence appearing real. Pinch yourself. You can feel. You real.
You're getting mighty soft. You're a Negro. Very good. All right, sit down.
We've got a problem, boss. Members of the Lost Motorcycle Club intercepted our product. You're going to have to hijack them en route or head
Never
them
no
off
boy.
at their clubhouse.
Your nationality
Young
is
man.
American Negro. Yes.
No.
Your nationality, don't play with me. You're a Negro.
No.
I am your teacher. You are a Negro.
No.
Suppose I threatened to beat you, what would you say? Aren't you a Negro now?
No.
What are you?
I'm black and blue.
What is your nationality?
My nationality is Afro-American.
Suppose I had some money in my pocket. Suppose I gave you $1 to say that you're an American Negro. This is money now. Money talks. Money talks. This dollar. If you don't say it, you don't get it. You're an American Negro, aren't you?
No.
You won't have any money. You know you need money, don't you?
Yeah.
You need money to live, don't you?
Yeah.
All right. All you have to say, Leon, is that you're an American Negro. Aren't you an American Negro? Are you an American Negro?
No.
What are you?
I'm black and blue.
What's your nationality?
My nationality is Afro-American.
Very good, man. Keep it up. What's that? You had to think about that a minute, didn't you?
Yeah.
All right. All right, everybody. What is your nationality?
My nationality is Afro-American.
All right. What I did is what people are going to do to you in different ways when you get out of the school. They're not going to just come right up to you and give you $1 or say if you say that you're an Afro-American, if you say you're an American Negro, I'll give you $1. But they're going to be very nice to you, some of them, and they're going to try to, get you not to love black people. They're going to try to get you to, be something other than you are. They're going to try to make it seem as though you're different from the masses of black people. And they want you to go away. I'll say, I'll give you special things if you just come along with me and do what I say. But you must reject that. Now, you know what that means? That means you're not going to have the money you'd like to have. And money is not important. We need money. We have to buy things with it. But money is not the thing that we're living for. The only thing that makes a person worth living is being a man and being a woman. Being strong in character, being straight, telling the truth, and living in the truth and doing the right thing. You understand that? So no matter what happens, I want you all to always tell the what. You may not get the marks you're supposed to get in school, you may be doing the work, but because the teacher doesn't like your attitude, she'll always tell you, I don't like your attitude. Because you're independent, but you're not going to school for grades. You're going for what? All right, and what kind of people is everybody in this room going to be? Tell me the kind of people you're going to be. What else? You are. What are you going to be? You going to be stupid?
No.
What kind of people are you going to be?
Excellent.
You're going to be excellent, and what else? Yes, ma'am.
Strong.
And strong, and what else?
And good.
And good, and what else?
And genius.
And a genius, and what else? I'm looking for another word. All of you are geniuses right now, and you're better than that. What else? I'm looking for a word that begins with a B.
Brilliant.
Brilliant. Brilliant. And brilliant really means to shine.
Yep.
All of you will shine. All of you
like inside of all of us is the divine creator of us. Ain't nothing outside of us. We was taught to believe in that, not to know the truth in us. Because everybody's believing some bullshit outside of them putting everything that's real inside and not killing their body from outside in.
Can you blame us for overcompensating? I mean, when you take the way black history got lost, stolen, or strayed, when you think about the kids drawing themselves without faces, and when you remember the fine actors who had to play baboons to make a buck, I guess you gotta give us a sin of pride. Pride. Hubris in the original Greek. It's 300 years we've been in this American melting pot and we haven't been able to melt in yet. And that's a long wait. Listen, we've been trying all kinds of parts to make the American scene. We've been trying to play it straight and white. But it's been just big parts. Now, from now on, we're going to play it black and American, which we're proud of both. Hubris. I'm Bill Cosby, and you take care of yourself.
See, this is the bill that they wanted to smear.
All right. What is a set?
A set is a connection of objects.
What is a subset?
A subset is part of a set.
What is a member?
A member is one unit of a set.
What, in terms of set comparison, does larger mean? Everybody together. I'm going to ask you all the questions. Let's see if you can do it. All right? What is arithmetic?
Arithmetic is not
What is, in terms of set comparison, what does larger mean? In terms of set comparison, what does smaller mean? All right, now quickly, look up on the board, relax, but think very quickly, you understand? All right, in terms of set comparison, we want to compare two sets, and I want you to tell me which is larger.
And again, y'all stink with that shit. All the different things that we accomplished to say that we wasn't conquered, we was destroyed. We were destroyed within as a project that some rich motherfuckers live there in initiative. They can mute my shit, do whatever they want to my shit, but they still can't stop me from telling the truth. Now we're gonna listen to a little Black Wall Street while we play this Grand Theft Auto on my channel, The Truth is the Truth, period. Fuck all the bullshit. I just want you to know that people lie. Numbers don't. And all my numbers add up to right now. Just as well as I can say, the truth is the truth, period. Fuck all the bullshit. There's no such thing as hit today, gone tomorrow. Hit today, gone today. Because ain't nobody promised tomorrow. Shit, you gotta get through today first. Because the truth is living right now.
The plane carrying the product went down. Go out to the crash
Living
site
right
and bring
now.
whatever you can to the warehouse.
Let's see what we have in Kimbo Slice.
I remember watching a long time Sky.
Kimbo Slice.
Shit out of these people. And how entertaining he was. And how the fights were great to watch. That was Kimbo Slice. When I think about YouTube, back in the early days, that's who I think about. It's sad to hear that he passed away just a few years older than I am. And he left his family behind. I mean, the guy looked like he was this big, lean guy. But everything I've heard was that he was a really caring family man. Over the past year, Kevin Randall, the Ultimate Warrior, Kimbo Slice, all died at a really young age. Now, when you look at the reasons as to why they all died, from heart failure, you know, it was something that bodybuilders, wrestlers, entertainers all took in the 70s and 80s, and that was Deca. Now Deca is known to be 10 times more damaging to your blood vessels than testosterone. It was never meant to be used over a long period of time. And a lot of these guys, they used it for 20 years straight. So the damage to their heart, when you think about how many years they were doing it, was bound to happen. So if there's a lesson that we can all learn, it's that you gotta be careful with the shit you put in your body and research. I mean, look, there's no excuse. I mean, Google's in our hands. You can research anything you want. And you know, sadly to say, there's probably gonna be more people who we hear that are dying because of the abuse. Things can be done safely, but abuse will kill you. So it's really sad that Kimbo died. He may have not been the best fighter. I always wanted to watch him fight. You know why? Because he was fun to watch, and it was entertaining. I don't always have to see the best fighter fight. Because you know why? Sometimes they're boring as shit. I want to be entertained. So Kibbo is definitely one of the most entertaining. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe.
Yeah, bro, Kimbo, though, fuck up whatever you do. You want that money, you died for it. Wow.
Columbus had embarked on his first journey of discovery. Columbus himself was a man of mystery, whose origins are still debated today. The legend has it that Columbus had to convince King Ferdinand II and Queen Isabella of Spain to outfit 3 ships, the Niña, the Pinta, and his own flagship, the Santa Maria, for a voyage west to find the Far East. It was a daring plan, since at this time other nations were sailing east around Africa, looking for a sea route to India and China. As a result, Columbus blazed the most famous sea route in history, the route to the New World. And his voyages would lead directly to the colonization of North America. It started on August 3rd, 1492, when Columbus sailed from Palos, Spain. 69 days later, he and his crew landed at the present-day island of San Salvador. Columbus thought he had made it to India, and even named the Caribbean islands the Indies. Now looking for gold, Columbus traveled from San Salvador to present-day Cuba, then Haiti, and the Dominican Republic. On March 15, 1493, Columbus completed his journey and returned to Spain. His next voyage took him to the U.S. Virgin Islands, where he interacted with the native islanders. On his third voyage, May 1498 to October 1500, Columbus sailed to Trinidad and then to Venezuela. On his fourth and final trip, May 1502 to November 1504, Columbus sailed to Honduras, Costa Rica, Nicaragua, and Panama. Following Columbus's last voyage, Spanish conquistadors spread out through the southern part of North America, beginning with Ponce de Leon, landing in Florida in 1509. Other European nations followed: England, France, the Netherlands, and Sweden. It was an effort that would span more than 200 years, colonize a vast, untamed land, and ultimately lead to the founding of the United States of America. The beaches of Florida's Atlantic coast are now home to vacationers escaping the harsh winters of the north. But the first Europeans to set foot upon these pristine sands were Hispanic explorers nearly 500 years ago. Indeed, a map of the southern coastline of the United States reveals a legacy of Hispanic names: St. Augustine, Punta Gorda, Pensacola, Galveston, Corpus Christi. These places were named by intrepid Hispanic explorers who sought not only a western sea passage to China, but land for colonies. Colonies that would enable Spain to settle the new world Christopher Columbus had discovered. Among the first of these explorers was Juan Ponce de Leon, the first European to set foot upon the southern coast of what would become the United States of America. Ponce de Leon was born in Santervas, Spain, around 1460 and fought in the wars to oust the Moors from Granada in southern Spain. In 1493, he joined Columbus's second expedition to the West Indies, staying in the Caribbean where he joined the ranks of the Hispanic conquistadors who sought their fortunes in the New World. Conquistadors were military leaders who invaded foreign lands and conquered the inhabitants. Ponce de Leon was part of a tradition that went back thousands of years to men like Alexander the Great, Julius Caesar, and William the Conqueror. When Ponce de Leon heard of gold on the neighboring island of Puerto Rico, he organized an expedition to the island and conquered it. Appointed governor in 1509, he established the oldest European settlement on the island. 4 years later, Ponce de Leon outfitted another military expedition to find the island of Bimini in the Bahamas. Along the way, he landed on the east coast of Florida at what was to become St. Augustine and claimed the territory for Spain. He named this land La Florida in honor of the Easter Sunday known as Pascua de Florida, Feast of Flowers. Later it was shortened to Florida when it became the United States' 27th state. Supposedly, Ponce de Leon was searching for the lost fountain of youth, perhaps associated with one of Florida's many spectacular springs. The fountain of youth was said to give everlasting life and health to whomever drank from its miraculous waters. But such tales are fanciful. Like the conquistadors, at this time, Ponce de Leon was searching for gold. Although he did not find any, he did find something just as valuable: the Gulf Stream current. In the decades that followed, Spanish galleons loaded with treasure from Mexico and Peru would use the Gulf Stream in their return journeys to Spain. Ponce de Leon tried twice more to find the island of Bimini, but was unsuccessful. On his last expedition in 1521, he and a force of 200 men landed on the west coast of Florida. Native American warriors attacked them, and Ponce de Leon was wounded by an arrow. He later died from his wounds in Havana, Cuba, in July 1521. He is now buried in San Juan, Puerto Rico. Today, the southeastern United States is the core of the Deep South and former stronghold of the Confederacy. Now tens of millions of people live and work there. But 500 years ago, it was home to swamps, marshes, primeval forests, and fierce Indian tribes.
We're good to go.
It was a mysterious and unknown area no Hispanic conquistador dared to explore. Yet one man, a man in the tradition of Spain's warrior explorers, would lead an expedition through this untamed wilderness for 3 years. That man was Hernando de Soto, perhaps the most famous European explorer since Marco Polo. In fact, throughout the southeastern U.S., many towns and counties carry his name. In an expedition that would not be rivaled until 260 years later by Lewis and Clark's Corps of Discovery, De Soto led a force of 600 men across 10 southern states, and even as far north as Indiana and Michigan. But it was here in present-day Florida that he came ashore in 1539 to begin his expedition, seeking his fortune and glory for Spain. By 1530, Spain's first generation of conquistadors, led by Hernán Cortés, expanded her western empire to include all of Mexico and Central America, where they found immense riches in gold and silver. Then, enticed by rumors of golden cities, lost empires, and immense treasures that lay in the unexplored regions of North and South America, the conquistadors sought even greater wealth. The result was that a second generation of explorer warriors, men like Francisco Pizarro, Francisco Coronado, and Hernando de Soto, were driven to explore these regions and see what was there. The greatest of these explorers was de Soto, the man responsible for claiming the southeastern United States for Spain. De Soto was born around 1500 in Spain. At the age of 14, he traveled to the West Indies, where in 1531 he joined Francisco Pizarro in his assault on the Incan Empire. During this expedition, Pizarro made de Soto his second in command. With his share of the treasure, 18,000 ounces of gold, de Soto returned to Spain in 1535. He settled down in Seville and became a wealthy gentleman. But his retirement did not last long. Spurred by twin dreams of finding gold in Florida and a northwest sea passage to China, he sold all his property and prepared an expedition to the New World. In 1537, Spain's King Charles I made de Soto governor of Cuba, granted him the right to conquer Florida, and gave him the right to choose any land he wished in Florida for his own plantation. 2 years later, de Soto was ready to fulfill his dream when he arrived on Florida's west coast, May 30th, 1539. For the next 4 years, his incredible expedition of discovery covered more than 4,000 miles, exploring the southeastern part of what would become the United States, including Florida, Georgia, South Carolina, Tennessee, Alabama, Mississippi, Arkansas, Missouri, and Louisiana. But he also crossed the Ohio River into Indiana and Michigan. De Soto maintained meticulous records, providing the only first-hand detailed accounts of the immense cities of the mound builders' vast empire and powerful Indian tribes. De Soto's expedition used the phases of the moon as a means of dating the expedition's events and findings. This novel time dating would make it possible for anyone reading the journals at a later date to know exactly where and when the expedition made its important discoveries. De Soto never found gold or a northwest passage to China. At the same time, the expedition's contacts with the native tribes were disastrous, leading to continuous warfare with everyone the Spanish met. Finally, in June 1542, De Soto succumbed to a fever and died in the banks of the Mississippi River, where he was buried. Interestingly, 200 years after De Soto's expedition, these Indian cities and tribes had vanished when Europeans once more returned to the area. What De Soto had described, the powerful Mississippian Indian culture, had been replaced with new cultures such as Choctaw, Cherokee, and Creek. As a result, De Soto was for a long time denied just credit for the scope of his remarkable journey of discovery. Though De Soto's expedition ended disastrously, of the 600 men who started out, less than 300 survived. What did survive were his journals, providing a unique early account of a region that would become part of the Spanish Empire and eventually the American South. In fact, so great an American hero was De Soto to Walter P. Chrysler that in 1928, the U.S. automaker named one of his premier model lines De Soto to honor the famous explorer. The great American desert Southwest called to the last of the conquistadors, the last of the warrior explorers who made the harrowing journey across the Atlantic Ocean to find fortune in an untamed new world. More than 200 years would pass before French or English adventurers would set foot again on the lands he discovered for Spain. Because of his daring, Spain would enlarge its holdings in North America to include Texas, Oklahoma, New Mexico, Arizona, Utah, Nevada, and California. He was Francisco Vasquez de Coronado. By 1540, Spain had increased its presence in the New World, so that it now included all of Mexico, Central America, and portions of South America. But Spain's conquistadors were still not through exploring. Hernando de Soto was already trekking through the southeastern half of North America. At the same time, the Southwest, with its rumors of easy wealth, beckoned Francisco Coronado to his date with destiny. Coronado was born into a noble family in Salamanca, Spain, in 1510. At the age of 25, he sailed to Mexico as an assistant to its new viceroy.
It's a rainy night in Connecticut, and this 40-year-old guy thinks he's going to cuddle in bed with a 13-year-old girl named Bailey. But in a few minutes, 40-year-old John DuPay will find out that this hookup has no happy ending. DuPay is the latest monster we've caught in our all-new investigative segment, Hansen vs. Predator. We're working with the Fairfield, Connecticut Police and the online predator watchdog group Tetrad Corps. They post profiles on apps like Whisper using innocuous pictures of actual underage girls, protecting their identity. DuPay contacts not one, but two of our decoys. One we'll call Brittany and the other Bailey, looking to strike up a sexual relationship. This phone call will creep you out.
Hello.
He appears to be so desperate, he would risk a long prison sentence for a night with a 13-year-old. The text messages he sends are even more disturbing. He calls the youngster baby. He likes to be called Boo.
Hey, Boo. I'm all fresh from the shower.
I wish I smell your body, baby. Baby, I think it's gonna be amazing for me and you when our bodies are touching and I'm inside you and we're kissing. OMG.
Online, DuPay uses fake names like John Santoro and Johnny Connecticut. He's a former mail carrier and says he worked as a package handler at UPS. Claims he's 30, but he's actually from Selma.
Hello. Hey, Boo. Who are you? I'm outside.
More than a dozen hidden cameras throughout the Sting House capture his every move. Our fence cam captures him going to the door with a bag of gifts. Our decoy is a 19-year-old theater student who could easily pass for 13. She takes him inside where our kitchen cam records the conversation and my confrontation.
What did you bring? What do you got? Show me.
Cheers.
What is it? Thank you.
She asked for snacks, and he's more than happy to oblige. A bag of chips, a caramel-covered chocolate bar, and a giant bottle of iced tea.
It's nice to finally see you. This is crazy.
Are you nervous?
Yeah, I'm really nervous.
Why?
I don't know, I've never done this. Have you?
Nope.
So what do you want to do?
A hug?
I don't know.
Hey, dude. Hey. You have a seat right around that store right there, please. No, right there. Please have a seat. Set the phone down, please.
This is cute.
Just hang out and watch football? Hang out and watch football with who? With her. Who's her? With Bailey. And do you know how old Bailey is? She's 14. 14? Mm-hmm.
She told you she was 13. Not that that matters. How old are you? 30. 30.
DuPay is lying. We both know he's really 40. And what he doesn't know is that I have all the transcripts of his sordid conversations with minors. But I'm curious to see if he'll cop to his intentions.
And why would you at 30 think it would be okay to hang out with a 13-year-old girl home alone?
This shit got my stomach tight, man. How y'all do this type of
You
shit?
just hit it off with friends. You hit it off with a 13-year-old girl. Just
Horrible, man. Let this thing get. I need a phone. I need to make some phone calls, man.
be okay to hang out with a 13-year-old girl home alone. I mean, we just hit it off with friends. We hit it off with a 13-year-old girl. We were just talking. Just talking. Well, now you're here. This is more than talk. I know, we just came in to hang out. You know, I thought, get a hug and watch football. Watch football? Yeah. Who's playing tonight? Steelers and the Ravens. I had no intention of nothing. No intentions of no. So what do you do with UPS? I was a package man. Package man. You're not there anymore? No. What do you do now? Nothing. Besides go online and try to talk to young girls. I don't try to talk to...
Yeah, you do.
I mean, I just try to find a girl to talk to and hang out with her.
Yeah, hang whatever.
How many times have you done this with somebody who's 13, 14 years old? Never. Never talked to another girl who said she was 13? No. Well, who's Brittany?
Hey.
Brittany. That was another girl you were talking to.
How you know that? Yeah, they been stinging you, partner. Yeah. What's that sting? Yeah, you going to jail, dog. There ain't nothing you can do to get out there.
To Bailey, I whisper that you're 30, how old are you? She says 13. You say, you're not 13? And that big? Yes, I'll be 14 next month. That's pretty clear. You remember that, right? You do. This does not look very good for your child. The chat, the appearance, the dark chocolate. Did you bring condoms with you? Not in your pockets, no? But you see how this looks? Absolutely. I mean, just tell me what you're really up to. Just to hang out.
Bro, you sweating like a runaway slave.
Yeah. And if you were the parent of a 13-year-old girl, would you be comfortable with that?
No.
I mean, it depends how that, I mean, if I'm a good person, you know, like, typically good people don't meet strangers online, talk about sex, but then go over to visit, and within 3 minutes, ask for a hug. And all I do is just ask for, you know, I love hug. With a 13-year-old girl. Walk right in the house. Or she told me to come. Does that make it right? Knowing that she's good. I would have never just walked in, you know, without talking to her, you know, without getting her okay.
Wow. She's 13, bruh. She's 13. She's 13. She's only 13, man.
So you just spend the night and hang out with her 13-year-old girl?
Yep.
That's cool.
She's 13.
You talked about her? I mean, I was going to leave out there for more than...
That's what you say. You pervert. Your little penis was gonna get hard, and you was gonna jump in that little girl. Yeah, you was gonna have a special life. No, you wasn't. No, you wasn't.
Solicit the 13-year-old girl online using rapid sexual language. What do you think happened? So I'm not like that. I'm a bad guy.
Mm-hmm.
The pickup line John DuPay used to seduce a 13-year-old girl will bring your stomach.
You tell her, I would love to be the first guy to make you blank if you wanted me to, and I wanted to. Feel it inside you. Has that line ever worked for you before? No. Then why do you do that now? There was, I mean, well, what might have led to this? There was no
actions made by him. That shows clear intent.
He obviously flunked Don Juan 101. Remember, this is the same guy who made that creepy phone call. He then tries a different and equally disgusting approach, bragging about his mad party skills.
And then you talk about that you and a bunch of people snuck into a mansion and partied for days. Where was that?
That was a while ago.
How?
Maybe 8, 9 years ago.
What's a long?
Yeah.
How does this look? How does that look? Not even tell me, how does it look? If you were me, what would you think?
That I honestly made a mistake.
Well, that's true.
But it ain't just that simple, buddy.
Not to talk to girls anything online.
Or try to come over and have sex.
I wasn't trying to come over and have sex with you.
Go to your can.
I was just playing with her, playing with her, but it just seemed like where she was, like she was 15. I mean, I'd never had sex with her. I mean, I didn't plan on coming here to have sex with her.
Tonight, because I walked in.
And I didn't plan on it.
You didn't plan on it? Come on, you talked about it.
But that wasn't my intention. I talked to her all day today about just coming over and watching the game and just hanging out.
Salads.
About what?
You talk about salads.
Food and stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah, while I'm watching the game.
This is everything I got for here. So what do you think she had? You're in a bit of a fix.
Terribly sorry, sir.
I guess you are. Police?
Well, there's something you need to know, and that is I'm Chris Hansen.
Yep.
And this
How to
is
catch
an
a predator.
investigation called Hansen versus Predator.
The look on Dupé's face says it all.
Sir, if you want to leave, just go out that door.
He knows what happens next. He's on up, into the back of an unmarked vehicle. The dash cam shows him being hauled off to police headquarters where he's booked, fingerprinted, and poses for a mugshot.
Initial again and sign if you're willing to talk to us.
In the interrogation room, he cries as he signs away his right to remain silent. His forehead is wrinkled with worry as he's about to speak to detectives.
Oh, do you see that in the pictures? Do you see she's a little girl? What? If she wanted to have sex tonight, would you?
No. I swear on my little boy, I wasn't going to have sex with you. I really wasn't.
Help us understand this. You want her to feel you inside her. I mean, I know what that means to me.
I know, I shouldn't have.
Watch closely and you'll see a classic case of good cop, bad cop in action.
Well, we'll just talk to her. She's all over you.
I was just told I can't do it.
Talk Chris Hansen and spend enough.
No, I was going to get picked back up.
Tonight?
Yep.
I see you hearing bullshit with us, which we have to leave, obviously. Do you never watch a football game?
So you were lying in the text messages?
What?
Were you lying to her in the text messages then?
I wasn't getting her sex, but I don't even know why I said such things.
He said them in the text, and that evidence was so overwhelming that he pleaded guilty to 3 felony counts. Attempted second-degree sexual assault, attempted risk of injury to a minor, and attempting to entice a minor in an obscene act.
So I want to know how y'all set this dude here up. Why y'all not doing this with these priests and shit?
Never failed to criminal. In his court appearance, other defendants were taunting him, claiming that even the most hardened criminals think he crossed the line. Maybe an indication of what he can expect in prison. His sentence, 8 years, suspended after serving 3. He also must register as a sex offender.
The chance, in many cases, very rare. Were you surprised at how rapid this was?
Oh, tremendously surprised. Anybody who reads that and anybody who understands what's
actually taking place if he doesn't get sick to their stomach. I don't know. It is horrible dialogue that's occurring with children. They know that they're children.
But y'all letting the Vanagon and all these bitches get away with what they doing to children. Bunch of bullshit. Cause the truth is the truth. It's time for to put all these pedophiles in jail. But Obama fucked up everything when they been say same-sex marriage is okay and this shit.
More than 50 miles in the range. Sex with someone he thinks is a 12-year-old girl. You heard right. A 12-year-old. Joshua Colon likes to be called Pop, Latin slang for daddy. But we have another name for him.
Predator.
Predator. Colon is the latest guy caught in our all-new investigative segment, Hansen versus Predator. He's 32 years old enough to be the girl's father. Lives in Queens and works for a plumbing company in Brooklyn. Besides Poppy, he likes to be called Boss. His profile on the link app shows he belongs to groups like Kush Smokers Are Us and Love Seekers, a site for teens.
Traffic cams we can see, Connecticut to New York. He's in Queens now and heads this way. He says there's traffic.
That woman in a bulletproof vest is with the online predator watchdog group Tetrad Core. They set up the sting in cooperation with the Fairfield, Connecticut police. On social media, Tetrad posts a pic and profile that is obviously a 12-year-old girl. We're protecting her real identity. Colon makes the first contact, and after some innocent chat, he sends some sexually charged texts about how he'll take her virginity. He then makes
We're
a
good to go.
proposal
Collect the...
no adult should ever make to a 12-year-old.
That's them playing with my phone. Stopping phone calls from coming in. Stop, man. It's some bullshit when bullshit's happening to you, you can't do shit about it. Can't tell nobody about it because ain't nobody gonna do nothing about it. Because the motherfuckers that's supposed to do something about it is the one that's doing it. I mean, they be putting my phone to sleep.
But it's not the rush hour this guy has to worry about. He's about to be caught on our more than a dozen hidden cameras outside, inside, in the hallway, the kitchen, and in the garage where police are in position for the bust.
Over there, the officer, okay? This is where we want it to happen. We want to ultimately arrest him here, handcuff him here, and then basically just search him.
The Fairfield cops are prepared for any possibility.
You should have that paper out.
Our driveway cam shows Colon pulling up to the Sting house in a bright yellow car. He's carrying an overnight bag as he walks to the back door. Our on-site decoy, a 19-year-old theater student who could pass for a preteen, invites him inside. Watch again. He locks the door behind him. What could he be thinking?
Did you get here okay though? Were the roads bad? What'd you bring me?
Dinner for myself.
Oh.
Because I didn't get to finish my dinner.
Oh, that's
I was
okay.
kind of in a rush.
You can finish. I had stuff earlier. Yeah. And now I can have cupcakes.
Grab something, whatever, it doesn't matter.
It's okay. Thanks.
I use the bathroom because I was way older for so long.
Yeah, it's right here.
You look hotter than the picture.
Thanks. I'm sorry, I'm really messy. No, here, this one. Yeah, I know it's little.
When he comes out of the bathroom, he sees me.
Is there a light station here? Oh, it's behind you, is that it?
Come on out, Joshua. Oh, right over there.
He's about to lose his luck.
Keep your hands right here. Sit.
You know who I am?
Yes.
So you've seen my shows before?
Yeah.
Well, guess what? We're starting up again.
Okay.
And you are among our first guests.
What's your name?
Joshua.
Joshua what?
Colon.
And how old are you?
32.
32. And how did you meet this Jenna Claire?
I was on a app, like.
And why did you think it was appropriate to talk to a girl who said she was 12 years old?
I don't know why.
12?
I know. It was wrong.
What did you bring with you tonight?
Huh?
What did you bring with you tonight?
Clothes.
Clothes? Why would you need a change of clothes?
In the night.
Because I was going to stay over.
Stay over.
Wow.
Yeah.
Tell the truth.
What do you mean you don't?
Guess have sex.
Have sex? Now you had quite the chat with this girl. It's too bad you aren't old enough. I would marry you. You would marry a 12-year-old girl.
If she was old enough.
If she was old enough. Well, why would you even say that to a 12-year-old? Do you have any nieces and nephews, younger cousins?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, what if a guy was hitting on them like this?
Yeah, I wouldn't like it.
You wouldn't like it. So explain to me what was going on in your mind that made you think it was okay to come here and do the very same thing.
I don't want to say anymore.
You want to say that more? Well, you pretty much already said. Did you bring condoms?
Yes.
Where are they?
In the bag.
What else is in the bag?
Clothes and toothbrush, stuff like that.
That's it?
That's it. That's all you're going to find.
Yeah, well, we'll finally make out and make love. I was thinking of staying over and leaving the next morning. So when I come over, we'll go to your room and you'll take off all your clothes, since I'm the boss. Why did you have her call you Poppy?
I don't want to say anymore.
What is Poppy?
Latin thing.
Nickname.
Yeah.
You wanted her to call you the boss. And then you say, I just hope your mom doesn't find out about me because I could get in serious trouble, you know, right? I could go to jail. I know love knows no age, but most people don't think this is 12. Joshua.
I know, I messed up.
Have you done this before?
No.
Have you ever contacted an underage girl online?
Yes.
We have evidence of that, too. A 13-year-old. So why should I believe you've never done this before?
You just
What up, old kid?
You woke up a few weeks ago and said, I'm going to chat up this girl and drive from your home where?
New York.
In Brooklyn.
In Queens.
Queens. You said Brooklyn. Or do you work in Brooklyn?
I work in Brooklyn.
And you live in Queens? And what do you do for work?
I'm a plumber.
A plumber. Good job.
Yeah.
Good pay.
That's right.
Why would you toss her away for this? I mean, can't you explain to me what brought you here tonight?
No.
And it's not wrong.
It is not. I know.
But help me to understand it.
I don't know. I don't know what was going through my mind.
You don't know? I mean, this is your chance to explain yourself.
There's no way I'm getting out of this anyway, so I'm not going to say anymore.
Well, Joshua, I don't know what else to say. Except that I'm Chris Hansen. And this is an investigation called Hansen versus Pepper. So if there's anything else you want people to know, now is the time. For the week.
Can I use the bathroom? Because I've been home for quite some time.
I think we should go.
Huh?
After I caught this predator in the Fairfield, Connecticut town, put him under arrest. handcuffed, put into an unmarked car. Cops brought Cologne to the police station.
Did he open all your heat, sir?
He's fingerprinted and photographed. Spilled his guts to detectives.
Don't wait on us. We've already eaten dinner, so we're good to go. You're the hungry guy.
The detectives gave him some Chinese takeout, waived his right to remain silent. He's about to say what shot him.
Is 12 an age that you're comfortable with? That's your preference, or?
Okay, no ages.
What? I can't hear you.
I date older, younger. I mean, not younger, just older, but 12.
Now, Cologne is about to make a truly stunning confession. Listen closer.
I did have sexual relations with someone older than 12.
How old?
15.
When was that?
A few months back.
Do you remember her name?
Stomach hurt.
Do you remember his name?
Steve.
Cologne then reveals his biggest fear was meeting me instead of a little girl.
And I told him.
Y'all ready to start flipping?
20, 17, because I was afraid
For what?
to be like on that guy's show.
That's what you were afraid of? What exactly? If you could erase him from walking into the kitchen today, what do you envision yourself doing right now if that hadn't happened?
I've never really.
Your intention was to have sex with her?
Yeah.
Okay. Did you tell her you loved her?
Yes.
Why? To pull her in? What do you think would be different about a sexual experience with a young girl versus an older person your age?
An older person is more experienced. I guess in some way I can have, I guess, the power of this.
Power of having an inexperienced person?
Cologne surely is going to choke on his chicken noodles after the detective calls the watch commander to find out how much his bail will be.
He's going to make it $750,000, which is very high.
Cologne's bond is eventually set at $125,000, and he bails out.
What surprised you most about the results of this investigation? How vulnerable are children? How the internet has made our children so much more vulnerable.
Man, the internet ain't made nothing vulnerable. The fucking children made themselves vulnerable by talking to somebody that they can't understand, understand anything, because their little mind is too fucking small to grab hold to what they doing to them mentally, physically, through talk and vibration.
Cologne is sentenced to 7 years in prison, suspended after spring 3, and he must register as a sex offender. He created life in the big city, the big house.
Why y'all ain't talking to all these rich motherfuckers that's doing this shit?
Watch out. There are more predators out there. Not gonna catch them. What's scary about Cologne is how unapologetic he seems about the whole thing. So I'm up here now in the New York office getting emails from parents all the time after they watch these segments, asking how they can better protect their kids from school. Well, it starts right here on the computer, and with this smartphone. Here are some short tips for you. Number 1, educate yourself on all the new social platforms. You don't need to use Snapchat, but you need to understand how they work. Number 2, improve their cell phones. Set a time that kids' smartphones go on a family charging station for the night. These groups like to work in the late night hour. And lastly, number 3, have a blunt, age-appropriate discussion with your kids. When I did the very first investigation and showed it to a group of younger teens, they thought the predators were actually actors. They were shocked to see guys really do this. And I was shocked when I asked the group if any had been approached online in an inappropriate way and not told their parents. 75% said yes. Yes, 75%. For more on how to protect your kids online, please go to MyWatchDaily.com.
Oh, you back on y'all ass, boy. I like this. Y'all motherfuckers need to be in jail. Some fucking way. Preying on fucking kids. Like a say again, I can't hate you. I just don't like what you do. Because hate is too heavy for my heart. But y'all fucked up in the brain too.
And on this sunny autumn day, he's coming to meet a boy who he thinks just turned 13.
So where do you want to go? Want water or something?
He should probably take a sip, because in a moment, he's gonna meet me. His name is Jesse Velez. He's 28 years old. His screen name is Jose. He's engaged, and he's a general manager at a major sandwich shop chain. But Velez has something else planned for today's menu. Velez is the latest creep I've caught in our special investigative segment, Hansen vs. Predator. In our Sting House in Fairfield,
Beautiful day. Such ugly shit going on.
cameras to capture every move.
What I want you to do is let him see the blue is going to take away from your face. So when he pulls up, just come out and go, oh, I forgot my jacket.
The Fairfield cops coordinate the sting operation with the predator watchdog group Tetrick Corps. Tetrick posted a pic of a real 13-year-old boy on social media, hiding the boy's identity for his protection. Within 20 minutes, Velez contacts the boy we're calling Jason. He tells Velez he's turning 13 in a week.
You okay that I'm younger?
Yes.
Like 13 years old younger? LOL? Never chilled with a young guy before.
Velez describes in graphic detail the sex acts he wants to perform. He even sent a pic of his private parts and asked the boy to send him nude photos. But if that isn't shocking enough, what he asks for next will make you sick.
I see you news. Weasel news. You Weasel you news. Watching you Weasel like a fool. We live in some fucked up times, though.
Doesn't know it, but there's no kid on the other end of the smartphone. It's really a woman named Lori. And he knows absolutely everything. Lori is one of the operatives working for Tetrick Corps. She's giving detectives the text messages she exchanged with Velez.
Well, she's just going through and getting all my screenshots so that she can provide that to local PD so that they can have a probable cause for arrest. And then just going to hand off all the press that I'll have after the interview.
In our control room, Lori receives word that Velez wants to nail down a date.
He says, let's get lunch, my treat. I said, okay, when? He said, in a few. I said, okay, let me know so I can get showered.
She briefs our on-site decoy, a 19-year-old drama student who is pretending he's 13, and so the decoy will know how to act.
You don't know how to act, he's scared. He's staying too far away from the dude. Look. See, I couldn't even, the gay shit is just too fucking much. But he bad, he a bad actor. Why do he get paid for acting? Because if he's supposed to be acting like he gay, he's supposed to be up on that dude, closer to that dude than he far away.
My mom keeps having her purse. Who lives here? Oh, I live here. Me, my mommy, and my dad.
Uh-oh. Velez looks straight at one of our hidden cameras. The decoy moves into distraction mode.
They just want to look at this. This right here. This is my dad made this. He did. Yeah. Pretty cool. Want to look at it?
What Velez doesn't realize is that he's being moved into position for what will be the surprise of his life. Hey, what's happening?
Nothing. What was your plan? Nothing, actually. Just to hang out. Just to hang out? Yeah. With a 13-year-old boy. Who you sent the picture of your private parts? No, I did. I did. Yes. He was right. Yeah. I was just hanging with him on and off for weeks. Yeah, I used to travel around people on and off. I'd hang out with them. No, nothing's really sexual, to be honest. Nothing sexual? No. What's this? Let me see. Oh my God, I didn't know even think that. Yeah, I didn't know that. He was right. You know, usually when I send a picture, like I have a bunch of pictures of me. Right. So I must have hit that, but I didn't know why. So this was just one big mistake? Yeah, I was pretty much, yeah. So you had a picture of yourself out about town? Because usually, like, usually I'm in a car. Yeah, like usually I would penis pic. Oh, I'm sure you had the penis pic. Yeah, because I didn't know because I would even say, like, something afterwards. I didn't even know I really sent that, to be honest. What is
Honestly, I know it's for hookups. I really do know that, but I'm not all for that. I don't just meet people randomly and just start having sex with random people. That's not what I do. I just like to have company with me. I'm like kind of a, how you say, I never really had friends when I was younger.
Right.
So I just hang out with people, you know, get to know them a little bit. You know, that's about it. You know, I meet people from either 13, 17, 18, 30, into their 40s, just to meet people and talk to them.
And how old are you?
I'm actually 27.
Not true. At the time of our confrontation, Velez had just turned 28.
But you see how this looks for you to come over and visit that 13-year-old boy after you sent him a picture of...
I didn't realize I sent that. And even when I came here...
How could you not?
No, I understand where you're coming from, but even when I came, even when I parked there, I was just like, even when I sat there, I was like, yeah, this person I did like met someone at someone's house. I felt kind of nervous when coming to a house, because you guys say, let's meet at a public place, so it's more safer for me. That way, just in case I don't know the person. But that's why even when I came, I actually turned the park that I parked for a while. I was in, like, I should not be going to this person's house. So I never really, yeah, I did.
Why did you do it?
It's the first time for me. I never went to someone's house.
You know, I hear that all the time.
Yeah.
It's my first time.
I'm sure.
I doubt that all the people who tell me it's their first time are telling the truth.
This is honest to death.
So you're the first honest guy I've ever found.
This is the first time. This is the first time I met a young person that age. The first time ever in history. There's nothing sexual was going to happen to him from the get-go.
Remember, he sent graphic text, including pictures of his private parts.
After you sent him a picture.
And I didn't realize I sent that. You can look at all the conversations and not realize I sent that kind of picture. Even when we were chatting, I never said, oh, hey, do you want to have sex? Because that's just not the kind of person I am. I don't want to throw myself out like that. That's not what I am.
But if you were his parents, are you going to be comfortable?
I have a 6-year-old friend. I do. Yes, I do.
That's a pretty big age gap.
It is.
At this stage.
But you know what? But there's nothing wrong with that, because to be honest, I have friends that are 16 to 30. We all hang out. You know, there's no drugs involved. I don't do any drugs. But we all just conversate. I mean, there's so many similarities from other people that doesn't matter what age to me. You know, so some look at it as more like a pedophile thing or something like that, but that's not what I am. You know, I don't go around looking for, 10-year-old, 13-year-olds. No, that's not who I am. That's not exactly what I am.
You see how this goes.
Yeah. And I wasn't even realize something told me to walk through that door. I swear something told me.
Why did you do it?
I don't know. I wasn't going to walk through that door. I really wasn't. Thank you for this actual experience. Actually, it's pretty interesting, actually.
Jesse Velez may be taking back his gratitude in just a few moments. He's the submarine sandwich-loving guy who tried to hook up with a 13-year-old boy and got caught.
I'd rather meet at a sandwich shop or Starbucks, just so we can sit down and conversate. It's nothing really sexual or ordinary.
Do you live by yourself?
No, I live with my 3 dogs.
Well, we've been running an investigation.
Okay.
Called Hansen versus Brown.
Okay.
And I'm Chris Hansen.
Okay.
And you walked into it.
Okay.
So if there's anything else you want people to know.
I'm not, I was just a kid. I'm not. That's not who I am. That's not who I am. Honestly. That's not who I am.
It's not going to turn out bad for the pedestrian. Or he didn't kill none. Alright. What I'm talking about. Cool 44. He ain't kill nobody, That's some cool shit. Beating them up, that's cool. But shooting them, you ain't got no guns. Nah,
This is not what it seems to be.
Man, you going to jail, you predator. You shouldn't have been there trying to fuck with that little boy. Damien, I'm a little boy, Damien. I'm a little boy. That's all Obama's fault. He made same-sex marriage okay. Now I'm a motherfucking little boy born with a penis, thinking little girl. That little girl born with a vagina thinking she a little boy. Some bullshit. I know it is. I know it is.
The lesson here is don't walk into no one's house and you don't know who actually lives there. That's to be honest. Don't do the same things to other people that you would want them to do. When you want something. When I came around, I was bored today. I didn't know what to do. I was like, hang out with some people.
How about watching football?
I'm not a sports person, believe it or not. Don't like sports.
Watching Netflix?
I was. It was just today was just a day that just, let's just go hang out with my real quick. Let's hang out, nothing sexual though. I'm not looking for that. I never will do this ever again. Watch someone's
want to see that nigga look on his face.
Our garage cam captures the arrest by the Fairfield cops. Velez appears to be shocked that he was busted. The cops put him in the back seat of an unmarked police car. As they speed toward police headquarters, he's still trying to talk his way out of trouble. Velez is hauled into the station where he's booked, fingerprinted, and photographed. Now it's the detectives who are telling him to take a seat.
This is crazy.
Yeah. Plop down in the green plastic chair in the police interrogation room.
I'm done.
It's clearly
Yep, you are done.
especially when your
Yep.
hands are cuffed behind
You
your
gay
back.
bastard.
After an agonizing 5 minutes, the detectives unlock the hard drive, and Velez is ready to unleash an explanation.
I want something.
He sighs. He's about to sign away his right to remain silent.
I'm not an idiot. You know, I've been a cop for 19 years.
I'll be honest, whatever I'll do. I mean,
But if we're gonna say like, you know, you were just going there to make a friend and to hang out, I'm gonna question the veracity of that.
I know how it was. I know. I was not going to his house to literally have sex with him in his house. I was not going to do that.
That day?
You know, I don't really think, I mean, I knew a lot of people on that website, numerous people on that website would go hang out, and I actually still talk to people from that website that I actually made friends with. I don't have any friends. I have no friends. Literally.
Fiance, don't you?
Yeah, I do, but we don't see each other as much as we used to.
Okay.
He works a lot, I work a lot. I know some people look at me like, okay, you're going to this guy's house to have sex, aren't you? That's your home intentions. No, it's not. I can know a 12-year-old, a 16-year-old, an 18-year-old.
He was suspicious. He knew that he was up to no good because the on-site decoy suggested he looked a little older than 13. So he asked for his ID. I think he thought he might be involved in investigation. But who asks somebody for their ID unless they're Velez was charged with 3 felonies, but ultimately pleaded guilty to 2. At risk of an injury to a minor and enticing a minor by computer. Plus, he has to register as a sex offender for 10 years.
It is horrible dialogue that's occurring with children, and they know that they're children, or at least in their mind, they're communicating with children. Hi, I'm a child. Well, just to be sure, you're a child? Yeah, I'm a child. Okay, let me share with you all these disgusting things. And in the middle of your living room, in your bedroom, individuals can access their children without you knowing about it. They can share their most disgusting thoughts with their children who have never known.
The sentence, 5 years in prison, suspended after 32. Velez won't be dining on submarine anytime soon. Usual prison fare in New England City Penitentiary. Along with the legally registered Glock semi-automatic, they find a knife, duct tape, a camera, and a pack of condoms. I first feared it was what cops commonly call a kill kit. I was blown away. I've changed dramatically. A lot during this testimony. But I've never seen a better film with what could have been a kill kit in his car. What do you think would happen if there was really good? Nothing good? Buchanan was never charged in connection with the items found in his car. He's now on a one-way trip to jail. Our dad came goes sobbing all the way to the station. The car was into police headquarters. Buchanan, his face still soaked from his tears, supposed to see daylight for a very long time. Troy Watch Daily was given rare access to see the booking process up close. Buchanan, still balling, to roll the toilet paper to wipe his eyes. Somebody stand up. This time, instead of selfies, Buchanan is posing for a mugshot. He's fingerprinted. And suddenly decides to confess. Buchanan waives his right to remain silent and to talk to detectives. His moment in the interrogation room makes a startling admission.
What is it that is so enticing to you about wanting to be this friendly with someone who she did make it clear you were aware she was 14.
Some just switched in my brain, and I never thought about consequences. I was a normal person, and never ever thought about doing this.
Well, you have desires
to younger people or meeting just random strangers or anything like that. My body is growing older, it's just like my mind is just that's not getting yes, sir. And it's just not so it's taking time to mature to where I should be going towards young Christians because they don't have the responsibilities that older person needs. They don't want to take time, so it's just like I could do it with them. Hanging out.
Michael Gentile looks like he could be the grumpy old grandfather next door. But what kind of 16-year citizen would send your kid to perverted picture like this? Or leave your little girl the most disgusting voicemails imaginable? Gentile is the latest creep I've caught in our special investigative series, Jensen vs. Predator. Over the years, I've caught more than 300 of them. Take a seat right over there. So let me tell you, Gentile is one of the worst I've ever seen. His aggressive attempt to seduce a 13-year-old will turn your stomach. You'll be shocked when you hear what cops say Gentile is planning. Gentile is much older than most of the predators I catch. 64. He says he's a limo driver. He likes to play drums and he loves to run around in the nude. He knows this says it all. Loves to be naked. Our sting takes place in Fairfield, Connecticut, a quintessential New England town some 50 miles from Manhattan. Predators don't only roam the big city, they roam the suburbs too. Could be a guy like Gentile, driving across state lines to have sex with a minor, or even the guy down the street, like Carl Lawrence. Now, I know Lawrence. He used to take the same commuter train into the city. I was shocked when he showed up at our sting house to chill with a 13-year-old boy. What are you doing? I know, but you have to explain this. Come here, man. Today,
Oh yeah, this They never made me get a beat machine. I'm gonna make all kinds of beats, and my beats are free. I don't want a quarter for nothing, cause I got all love for all that is love, and that is you and your thoughts in this.
I don't have sex or anything on this local guy.
That's Lori from Tetra. She's one of the operatives who communicates with the predator.
I'm really scared. You can't prove to me like how you know it's a gun.
The on-site decoy is a 19-year-old theater student who is posing as a 13-year-old girl. On social media, Tetrad posts innocuous pictures of real underage girls. Tetrad never makes the first contact. It doesn't take long for the rat named Gentile to crawl out of the sewer and contact the decoy we will call Brittany. Gentile sends pictures of himself naked, posing in front of a mirror, in the woods, even sitting on the toilet. His text messages are some of the raunchiest and most disgusting imaginable.
That motherfucker need to be in jail.
On TV, but most involve Gentile's love for nudity. I sent you a picture on Skype. I'm naked. I would kiss you all over, LOL. Yesterday I went to a river upstate and went nude sunbathing. Want to go with me? LOL. Will you try sleeping naked tonight? I sleep naked every night. He sends Brittany links to porn videos, asking her to watch and learn. Remember, he thinks he's talking to a 13-year-old girl. I want you to feel comfortable looking at naked human bodies. I also want you to learn what they're doing. Watching those movies is your sex education homework, he says. I'm going to give you a test on it tomorrow. Gentile asks her to get a banana and do unmentionable things with it. It's just practice for when the real thing ever happens. I want you to imagine that the banana is nude. He reveals what could be interpreted as a passion for pedophilia. We went on a tour today of an old castle on the Hudson River. There were 2 girls around your age. I was looking at those girls today, thinking of you, and getting so excited. What is even more disturbing, Gentile sent pictures of what appears to be child pornography. Then he asks Brittany something that will come back to haunt him. Can I take pictures of you? Yeah, maybe. LOL, no one will see them though, right? Just me. I would never want to see my sweetheart with anyone.
That is child pornography. There's a very degree of what their intent is, what their actions are, what they're going to do.
After about a month of his almost constant texting, I'm to reel in this slimy fish. Tetrad's decoy sends him a message. Her parents will be gone the following weekend. Gentile calls his wife the witch, tells her he's going out to help a friend. He drives 35 miles from Worcester, New York to Fairfield. The decoy asks him to come in through the side door. Seconds after he's in the hallway. Next, the confrontation. And the shocking items found in his hotel room.
That dude violent too. That dude violent.
If you look at the dictionary definition of a predator, you'll probably see the face of Michael Gentile.
My little angel, I love your baby so much.
Gentile left that creepy message for our decoy. From her text, he clearly knows that she says she's only 13. The text he sent her will make you sick. Do you think you could take a picture of your blank for me? Feel sexy about yourself and take a picture. Are you going to take a picture for me after you shower? Why is Gentile so focused on getting pictures of a 13-year-old? He's 64, old enough to be the girl's grandfather. But he's texting like an oversexed boy wanting to go steady. You're my girlfriend, and I'm your boyfriend. I love you so much, my angel. I can't wait to hold you in my arms and know that you are actually mine. He thinks that day is about to come. But what this predator doesn't know is that the only embrace he'll be getting is the long arm of the law. After an hour drive, Gentile arrives at the Sting House. He parks his car down the street, lurking up to the door. He comes inside for just a moment. It almost seems like it's going as planned, but then, when he gets inside the door...
I'm really sorry.
It seems Grandpa has his antenna up for more than sex, and suddenly he bolts. Looks like I won't get a chance to invite Grandpa Gentile to have a seat, but outside a dozen cops are waiting for him. Just a little bit. His only date tonight, detectives at headquarters. I just got to see him. There, the officers search him a second time. They find a key card for a local hotel. Gentile lives only an hour away. Why would he need a room? As detectives wait for a judge to issue a search warrant for the hotel room, they start the booking process. And the line of questioning he would have faced in the kitchen with me.
Single, divorced, married? Married.
Soon to be divorced.
Married, soon to be divorced. Meaning he knew this at some point was going to be on TV in a Hansen versus Predator investigation. And it wasn't going to go over well at all. Remember, Gentile told his wife, who he affectionately calls the witch, he was going out to help a friend. And she hasn't a clue he was going out to meet a teen. Cops take his fingerprints.
Just relax.
His mugshot.
Here we go.
And then he learns how much his bail will be.
The bond is $500,000.
Cops tell him he's got one phone call.
I'll kill my wife, Phil. Switch her attorney.
Now Gentile makes the call married predators trap. Telling the wife he's under arrest for trying to sleep with a 13-year-old.
I went to meet somebody and they said it's an underage.
She apparently thinks this is a big joke.
Oh, man, this is all fair. We're good, please. This is not a joke. If you want, you can call the backup. Give me that number.
It might be easier for Gentile to speak with detectives who take him to the interrogation room and he signs away his right to remain silent.
What is your reason to be a first in Connecticut?
I thought a friend to a movie.
And like many of the men we catch, he claims he thought the girl was an adult. His little kitten tells him she's only 13 years old.
As far as I understood, she was in the thirds. What was your time? Just different things. Everything. Like sex, school. Sex to school? Yeah, everything. Parents. And, do you go to school? No. 30-year-old go to school? She said she did. Go to school. She said she was just studying at home. 30-year-old studying. Yeah.
Well, whose house is that?
As far as I know, it's hers. Hers, her parents. 30-year-old lives in her parents.
You understand the charges that
Yeah, I didn't know she was a minor.
you didn't know she was young?
No, I thought she told me she was younger, but I thought we were just doing role play. But her thing, when I first met her, she said she was 34 or 36 or something.
You're out there a lot on social media.
A little bit, once in a while.
So what's the common name for you?
Michael, I would love to be naked.
You don't mind talking. Mike. So we know you're here.
Okay.
But she never said she was 30. She said she was 30. Well, tell me.
When I first found on her picture, said she was 34.
No.
Yes, it does.
How you gonna say this girl 34 and you seen her picture? Ain't no way in the world that a girl could be 34. That's a baby, man. Predator bitch, you.
Yes, sir.
How's that sound, Mike?
Good. Way to talk to that bitch. Talk to that bitch rough.
Who are parents worst nightmare?
Talk to that bitch like talk to her.
So sit there and think about that.
warrant to search the room. Police on the search warrant. 6 detectives directly enter to look under the mat. They find his wallet, computer, and a tablet. And this.
Oh, there's the measures.
They find Gentile's digital camera. Remember, he told the decoy he wanted to take pictures of her naked.
You were set up to photograph this sexual in the hotel room. Yep. Yep. A kiddie porn manufacturing site. And that is an additional crime, an additional factor that we have to work with.
Cops reportedly found 24 sexually explicit images of minors in the assault. Charged with attempted second-degree sexual assault, attempted risk of injury to a minor, attempting to entice a minor by computer, possession of child pornography. Gentile might as well be on his way to Alcatraz.
Yep.
Several years in the Connecticut State Pen, sentenced next month.
Have a nice life.
Yep, when they need to pay attention.
The predator's eye catch come in all shapes, all sizes, and all ages. Like this creep pushing 60. But Charles Lawrence isn't looking to hook up with a 13-year-old girl. He's looking for a boy.
He says I live alone.
Lawrence doesn't know it, but he's the latest guy I've caught in our all-new investigative series, Hansen vs. Predator. We're working with the cooperation of Fairfield, Connecticut Police and Tetrick Corps, online predator watchdog. In our sting house, we hid more than a dozen cameras. We've even placed a microphone underneath a leaf. Lawrence is well educated and apparently very well off. He lives in Fairfield, a jewel of Connecticut's Gold Coast. He's an accountant. He works as a commercial real estate broker. And get this, he lives only 2,000 feet away from our sting house. A quarter mile he probably wishes he never traveled. Lori from Tetrad is texting Lawrence as our on-site decoy looks on. On social media, Lawrence calls himself an 8x6 god. Decoy clearly tells Lawrence his age. How old are you? Sweating in the morning? Of course not. 13. But when the decoy reveals his supposed age, Lawrence immediately follows up with what seems to be either concern or some unrecognized intuition.
Are you a cop or involved with law enforcement?
LOL. Really?
Gotta be careful.
Yeah, man, I get it. The conversation quickly becomes sexually charged.
I had sex with my ex-girlfriend. Nothing but God. Gotcha. You like that better now?
Never tried it. The being with my girlfriend was really awkward.
Being a good teacher.
Yeah, you know what?
You're talking to him. LOL. Coolest in session.
Then the lesson turns even naughtier. Lawrence talks to our decoy about hardcore gay porn.
You watch porn?
Yeah.
What do you like to watch?
Yeah, what do you like?
Mostly gay porn and some bi porn.
But the exchange gets so
This world
much,
got twisted,
it
people.
reveals the remaining text.
It's all twisted because of mankind's belief system that man put into the system of you believing in their system of them telling you that there is a God and a Jesus. There is neither. That was one of my sound. That was one of my soundtracks that I created. I don't name nothing simply because I don't have to. See, that one there just in there. Cause it just like playing with it as it is. So back to my mixing. Yeah. Yeah, I'm the mix master in this here. See, I'm the one that's saying what? shit. I'm gonna do it off beat so to show y'all how much rhythm I am in tune with my heart and the creator that gave me this beat and this thought of giving up on life to be given life back, to live life breaks and to know life with the facts, to tell you that you living, believing in some bullshit.
his eyesight.
I got scratched. So I can't go right now, so I wear these glasses. And I was downstairs, a cup of coffee, and the glass of water. And I'm looking, I thought that he came. I swear to God, I would never, ever in my entire life. I say to that also, it's disgusting. That's not. It's not the adults. I can show you that I was at an ophthalmologist. Scratching my head. Why are these glasses? Why did I see this? I can show you that.
Why is the reason why people lie? Even if you knew the answer to the question, you wouldn't want to know the answer to the question. You would act like you don't know the answer to the question. Because all y'all was taught to be stupid. And I was taught the same way y'all was taught. I'm just glad that I know the truth. And I just tell y'all the truth so you know the truth for yourself. To know that all that there is in you to be all that you could be, knowing the truth is the divine creator in you to be a creator too. God and Jesus shit would control you to have you believing in some bullshit. You know you got the choice to choose to love or to choose to hate. Love is only one way to create, and that's with no material motive but to create it to last forever. And that's dealing with the original creator. Never to destroy it. Never to want nobody with no sorrow or feeling bad. And God we trust is on money. Y'all trust money more than y'all trust yourself. You'll definitely trust money more than y'all trust someone else. Oh, here we go. This is what I've been wanting y'all to hear. Exactly what Wi-Fi is doing.
Ten ways technology is killing you. Number 10, insomnia. We all do it. Get tucked up in bed and then have a quick browse of Facebook, check your texts, or watch a quick cat video. But there are actually some serious ramifications of these seemingly harmless habits. Bright artificial light can wreak havoc with your circadian rhythm, the internal clock that regulates your sleeping habits. At around 9 p.m. at night, the body releases a hormone called melatonin, which signals the brain that it's time to sleep. However, staring at screens within the hour immediately before sleep can suppress the production of melatonin by 22%, severely damaging the person's ability to drift off. And this is a much more serious problem than you might initially think. A loss of sleep has been conclusively linked to depression, obesity, diabetes, and even serious cardiovascular disease. And it's becoming quite a pandemic. A study by the National Sleep Foundation found that a huge 95% of those surveyed used electronics in the hour before bed, and 63% felt they were not getting enough sleep. Number 9, sitting down. Since the mid-20th century, there has been a boom in technology-oriented seated jobs, for example, office worker or professional driving. Such jobs have quickly come to overtake more traditional labour-based work, like agriculture or factory production, industries in which technology has also led to the replacement of some workers with machinery. As a result of these shifting employment trends, the average American worker now spends approximately 13 hours every day sat down. And this could be deadly. Research has shown that sitting for prolonged periods causes muscles to stiffen, blood to circulate poorly, and cholesterol to drop by an average of 20%. Not only this, but sitting for over 12 hours a day has also been proved to contribute to higher risks of cardiovascular problems and cancer, as well as making you 90% more likely to develop type 2 diabetes. This is especially a problem considering how most recreational technologies, from TVs to video games, require us to spend much of our evenings seated as well. Number 8, repetitive strain injury. Repetitive strain injury has become increasingly common in the technological age. According to figures from the UK Health and Safety Executive, 21% of adults suffered from it in 2015, compared to just 15% 10 years before. It's caused by the constant tiny movements you make when typing on a keyboard, moving a mouse, or texting on a phone, for example. Basically, what happens is that the repetitive movements irritate your tendons through regular friction. This causes swelling, which presses painfully on your nerves. And this can be much more debilitating than you would probably expect. Okay, it's probably not going to kill you, but it is not a condition that should be underestimated. According to Dr. Mary Barb from the Department of Anatomy and Cell Biology at Temple University, injured cells release substances called cytokines, which travel through the bloodstream and can be toxic to nerve cells and other cells. This means that if left untreated, RSI can actually put an individual at risk of limb paralysis or even Raynaud's disease, which involves the dangerous interruption of blood circulation. Number 7, Wi-Fi kills sperm. Again, this next one is not actually going to kill you, but it deserves a spot on this list because of the potential ramifications it could have for the future of humanity. That is to say, it could kill your children before they've even been born. In 2011, scientists at the Nacentis Medicina Reproductiva in Argentina conducted a study, storing some sperm samples underneath a Wi-Fi emitting laptop for 4 hours. What they found was that over 25% of the sperm in their sample lost all mobility during the test, compared to just 14% from the control sample that had been left underneath the laptop with the Wi-Fi switched off. The Wi-Fi affected sperm was also 3 times more likely to show signs of DNA damage than the control group. This isn't to say that Wi-Fi definitively and irrefutably damages your swimmers, but the study did illustrate enough of a pattern for the scientific community to recommend further testing into its effects. But maybe it's best not to rest your laptop on your crotch all that often, just to be on the safe side. Number 6, social isolation. Stepping away from the physical side effects of a high-tech lifestyle now, the computer age has also been accused of having a devastating impact on people's mental health. The American Public Health Association concluded that there is increasing evidence that the internet and social media can influence suicide-related behavior through intensifying feelings of loneliness, depression, and social isolation. For example, a study conducted by the University of Michigan found a decline in happiness and life satisfaction among Facebook users. Participants in the study admitted that using the site to see what their Facebook friends were up to could see them comparing their own lives to the custom-picked representations other users choose to put online. There is also the increasingly serious problem of cyberbullying, which sees the internet used as a platform for vulnerable individuals to be targeted and manipulated, potentially with devastating results. According to a 2004 survey, approximately 35% of children have been threatened on social media, and with the difficulty of policing what adolescents have access to online, it's becoming more and more tricky to keep children safe. Number 5. Online doctors. Now, it's so tempting when you get the odd headache, pain or rash to use one of the countless online doctors that have set up practices on the web in the last couple of decades. Sometimes they can offer invaluable advice, but they can also be quite risky. There are 2 ways online doctors can be problematic. Firstly, you can Google your symptoms and be reassured that there's nothing wrong with you, when in reality, it could be something you should have visited your doctor about. A 2014 study in the journal Clinical Orthopedics and Related Research argued that the quality of the information and cost-effectiveness of online doctor consultations are uncertain and need to be evaluated carefully. Secondly, there's the modern phenomenon of cyber hypochondria, whereby an individual becomes convinced that they are sicker than they actually are, thanks to access to websites detailing all the worst-case scenarios. Dr. Brian Fallon from Columbia University argued that the internet has undeniably worsened the problem of hypochondria, which, according to a study conducted by Harvard Medical School, now accounts for 16% of all medical costs in the US. This is a major danger to modern healthcare services, which may struggle to manage this increased demand. Number 4. Pollution. There is evidence to suggest that maintaining our technology-littered lifestyles might not just be risky to human life, but potentially to the future of the entire planet. Take the not-so-humble iPhone, for example. The manufacture of a single phone releases 57 kilograms of carbon dioxide into the atmosphere. To put this into context, to manufacture all of the 72 million phones sold each year releases the same amount of carbon dioxide that a Boeing 747 would, flying non-stop for 14.5 years, or to keep the average light bulb on for 35 million years. Since the 17th century, the amount of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere has risen by 34%, and it's estimated that as a result, the average global temperature could increase by 5.8 degrees between now and 2100. But it's not just CO2. Industrial production releases many other pollutants into the atmosphere, and pollution is one of the leading causes of the serious breathing impairment asthma, which affects 25 million people in the US alone. Number 3. Office-related hazards. While we're on the topic of asthma, did you realise that your printer could be increasing your chances of developing the condition? A study from Queensland University of Technology found that 40% of laser printers shoot out ultrafine particles which could easily lodge deep into your lungs if you breathe them in. And this isn't the only health hazard you'll find in the average office. Swedish researchers discovered that many computers contain a fireproof coating to protect the computer parts. When the computer warms up with use, the toxic fumes from this coating are released into the air, which can lead to skin irritation, headaches, or allergic reactions if released into poorly ventilated areas. Shockingly, the researchers identified this coating as triphenylphosphate, which is also used in sheep dip and chemical weapons. But I know what you're thinking. I don't need to worry because my office has air conditioning. But there are also risks associated with poorly maintained air conditioning systems, which can contribute to spreading infectious airborne diseases as they continuously recycle the same air. For example, in the 1990s, several cases of Legionnaire's disease in the UK were traced back to contaminated aircon units spreading the infection. Number 2. Obesity. The average American spends 35 hours and 28 minutes watching television every week, as well as 10 hours and 30 minutes on their phones and 20 hours browsing the web. But, shockingly, they spend less than 2 hours a week exercising. The link between a sedentary lifestyle and obesity is pretty much undeniable. And it's not just that people are spending too much time glued to a screen when they could be exercising. Technology has a huge impact on our nutrition. First of all, advert breaks are full of high-definition, hunger-inducing, slow-motion shots of food. Secondly, it's been shown that people tend to pay less attention to their eating habits when watching TV or a movie. In fact, these pastimes are usually associated with high-calorie foods such as fast food or sugary snacks. Obesity puts an individual at risk of a whole host of serious health problems, including heart disease, high blood pressure, diabetes, cancer, and many, many others. Treatment of obesity-related illnesses costs the US an unbelievable $190 billion a year, or 21% of annual medical spending. Number 1. Distraction. At any given moment in America, approximately approximately 660,000 drivers are using their phones while driving. As a result, texting or speaking on the phone is the biggest contributor to road accidents caused by distracted drivers, which kill over 3,000 people every year. To show how dangerous cell phone distractions can be, David Strayer from the University of Utah conducted a study into just how much it affects drivers. Using a driving simulator, he tested the abilities of a number of subjects while their blood alcohol level was 0.08, aka the drink-drive limit. He then tested the same subjects a few days later, completely sober, but texting while they drive. And guess what? People on the phone are just as impaired as they are when intoxicated. And don't think that hands-free phones are that much better. Scientists at the University of Sussex monitored the brain activity of drivers using such headsets, and it's emerged that the part of the brain usually used to watch the road is instead preoccupied visually, imagining what they're discussing.
Alright, if you enjoyed facts as much